Hello and welcome to the Media Dimension. Last time I finished the Haunted Mansion, and I think everything around here has wrapped up, right? Yes, go on. Okay, good. One last thing to do, and that is to give this game a final burial, so it can rest in peace. Well, let's begin with, I actually kind of like this game. Well, maybe not surprising, but there are plenty of good movies that get screwed up when they convert them to video games. That I do like one that had kind of a weak movie that made a good game. The Haunted Mansion video game does one thing that I always like to see these tie-in games do. Ignore the plot of the movie or show. It's kind of weird, but that normally works out for the better, because then we don't have to really connect it to the movie. Well, doesn't always work, as Pagemaster kind of also went this route. The story in the game is actually fairly simple. Evil guy took over the mansion, rescued 99 souls, and retrieved the 7 Chaos Emeralds. I'm not kidding about that last one. I think they stole this game from the Sonic's Haunted Mansion. And if that's the case, then oh thank you guys, because that would have been an awful game. I kinda don't understand why the friendly ghost couldn't just give you all the gems in the beginning, but oh well. Then we wouldn't have a game. As for the playability of the game, it tends to shift its perspective with every room. From the shifting walls in the maid's room to the Knight's Maze puzzle in the museum. It's a weird one to say. Each one is a bit different. Enemies in the game are far more annoying, and the underlings seem to actually be the worst, with the ghoul swarms and tiny spiders just being irritating. Then again, I played on Nightmare mode, so there's something to say about the replay value of this game. The music and graphics are where I normally hit a wall. Being the second GameCube game I played, I kind of feel bad comparing it to the other, because, well, the other was Catwoman. But they actually are similar, except that the lack of music and darkness in Haunted Mansion tend to add to the atmosphere of the game. And there wasn't a total lack of music. The bits that we have are pretty nice to listen to. Something I would almost expect to hear on the ride. Or hell, maybe it is from the ride. This tends to borrow more from that than the movie. The game is a decent length, but not too bad, because I said earlier each room is different. And thank God, because I'm only going through that study once. And the mausoleum. And the children's room. Actually, speaking of atmosphere, this game does pretty well mixing the comedy side of the ride with the chillier side. Just don't make me go into that closet again. I guess the last thing I should mention is the bosses of this game. Or more like the boss. Well, in his normal form, I have trouble calling him a boss, since all the other enemies are much tougher than him. The gargoyles, the reapers, the knights, the banshees, for goodness sake, are better bosses than Atticus Thorn. All he does is teleport around, throw a fireball, or it's 3, and then he moves again, occasionally creating a few maggots at the earlier levels. As for his final form, wow, that was a surprise. If you have enough lives, push through it. Otherwise, I actually don't think he's too bad either. I had trouble because I played with my face, taking every shot he threw. But there's a heal in that room, so keep at it and he will fall. All in all, I think he's the worst part of this game, giving no challenge to you whatsoever. Now, there is one more thing. I actually had one thing to actually do in this arc, and that was to make sure that no one here screwed up that agency sting. I actually did my job correctly. They didn't need to know anything else that happened here, like anything. So I actually got my credentials back for them. Now I'm assigned to watch over these idiots. So everything will be pretty much the same, but now with more perks. Now if you don't mind, I'm gonna go get my law degree, and I'll see you all next time, because I'm tuning out.